So anyway, I just kind of give him a little bit of time to kind of sign in. At least I was inviting you this time.
Oh, I know you're not running around trying to catch.
Awesome. Hi guys, welcome in. We'll be starting in just a minute or so. Just kind of letting the room fill up a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Hi Kelly. Kelly's on. Kelly's awesome. She's one of our pro artists. And
amazing.
She's amazing. She works for Face Off. She's fantastic. We love her to death.
Oh, hi Becca.
Becca's here. Hi Becca. All right, guys, welcome to Camera Ready Live Times Makeup Forever. You guys have seen my guest, Eddie, with Makeup Forever. He is the artist trainer extraordinaire for Makeup Forever. And to tell you that we're here to really kind of break down the new foundation. I'm sure you guys have seen the new HD Skin all over the web. Where haven't you seen it? Like, seriously, it's been everywhere. It is the most hyped foundation there is right now, and for a good reason. So we're gonna go over the reasons why the HD formula changed. We're gonna go over what's different about it, and we're gonna go over really why it's a better formula overall, including the packaging, because the packaging has a lot to do with like what Makeup Forever is about now as a company. They have a Makeup Forever commitment, and so he's gonna talk about all of that stuff. And so I'm basically gonna hand this off to him, and he's gonna get started. Oh yeah, and by the way, one more thing. Sorry, Eddie, don't kill me. Stay with us towards the middle end, because he is doing a live demo, so you will actually see how this foundation works, how it looks being filmed. So you will actually get an idea. If you're wondering about that part, you will see it.
Can we just take a moment before you leave me?
Yes.
It's our first live.
I know.
We're not on a split screen. We're not in two different places.
So now you can see we're twins.
We're twinning. Hashtag twinning, right? Same hat and black. But I mean, this is our first live, which to me is amazing.
Amazing.
So, thank you for having me here live.
This is epic, guys. Like,
yes.
Epic. The man is across the country 24/7.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I don't even know what state I'm in. I'm like, what day is it? Where am I? But let's get into the nitty gritty, because I know we want to talk about why we changed, right? What's different, why it's better. There's just so much. So I want to share with you a few of the things that I think are really kind of like, that stand out about the foundation. And I know we've been talking about it all morning. So I know there's a few things that we want to address here, right?
Yes.
Why we changed. So number one, I think it's really important that as a brand, we're starting to be a little bit more eco-responsible, right? So I think that's really, really important for all of us. And there is a big change in beauty as well. So we have to kind of keep up with the times. That's number one. So we do have a commitment forever, we call it. And what you're going to notice is a lot of the packaging going forward is completely recyclable. A lot of it is recycled material. If it's not recycled, it's biosourced material. So the packaging, number one, is completely recyclable. The other thing is, it's a clean and vegan formula. I know that
yes.
makes you scream for joy, right?
Guys, I'm a vegan, and literally I get clients that come to me because of the fact that they know that I'm a vegan and I won't be using any kind of animal products on them, any kind of animal byproducts on them, and so they come to me because of that reason. So I know there's some vegan artists out there or who have vegan clients that this part of the formulation is super important to you guys. So big deal.
Yeah, it's a clean formula, so we got rid of all the nasty kind of ingredients in there. So it does meet clean standards. And for all my clean people out there, there is an app called the Yucca app, and you can actually look at the ratings for any product that you're using, and to score clean, you have to be a 75 or above, and the new HD Skin Foundation scores an 86. So that's pretty close to 100. We're getting there. We're getting closer. But the fact that we're actually beyond the baseline for me is really, really important. What else has changed? So we have something really interesting at Makeup Forever that I was sharing this morning. Is we have this thing called the Pro Collective, and the Pro Collective is global artists around the world, and there's 50 of us. And so I was joking, I say there's 31 pro artists in every bottle of this foundation. I'm one of those artists that are in this bottle, so you get a little bit of me in there. And what's great is we're from all over the world, so it really took 31 of us to create an incredible inclusive shade range. We all had to validate this formula. It took us 2.5 years to create this formula, because going from creating something that's clean and vegan and making it high performing, because my pros out there need someone who's going to show up every single day, right? And that it's a workhorse. And from a complexion perspective, we know how important that is, right?
But guys, think about it this way. Have you ever worked for a company and you wish you had an opinion in what they put out? How many times do we say to our employers, we're the one dealing with the client, we're the one dealing with the customers walking through the door? Listen to us. Listen, and Makeup Forever did that. Yeah. They did that, which is, to me, mind-blowing.
Yeah, I think it's important too, because in order to really be inclusive and to provide an inclusive shade range, we have to have people of all different skin tones, of different personalities, of different levels of experience. So I'm very proud to say I think we did an awesome job in what is a new start with this product launch, right? So you're gonna notice we did go from 50 shades to 40 shades. But what's different is it's not skewed in one color family. It is 10 shades across the 4 families to provide a total inclusive shade range. There is a shade for everyone. What I will tell you is the biggest difference from Ultra HD to the new HD skin is it is a higher pigment load. So here is a quick tip. Go lighter than you think. I promise you. Okay?
He's not kidding. You're not nearly as dark as you think you are in this foundation because of the amount of pigmentation in it. If you guys understand anything about pigmentation, when you hear the word pigmentation, think about it this way. There's less pigment of something, and then the more pigment, so you get what? You get more coverage right away. So yeah.
And to that point is why we say it's true to skin, because of the higher pigment, it does provide a little bit more coverage, so you don't have to have a thick layer of foundation. The high pigment is what's actually going to give you that coverage. So that was a big win. The other big difference is it's waterproof.
Yes.
Waterproof. Ultra HD was long wearing, but it was never waterproof. And again, you're going to have a little bit of that dry down factor. And we were talking about this morning as well.
Absolutely.
What it is not. What it's not.
It is not oxidize. And guys, get rid of that word, because to understand oxidization, you have to be with someone 24 hours to actually understand what oxidation does. This does not oxidize, it dries down.
Anything waterproof has a dry down factor. So you're going to notice, again, go lighter than you think, because there is going to be a dry down factor. The good thing is there are shade conversion numbers, but what I will tell you is it's your starting point. You have to think about it's not an exact change. Like, it's not like for like, okay? And there's another reason for that. We now have three undertones. You're either a yellow, a red, or a neutral. So before we only had yellow and red. Now there's a whole new undertone in there, which is a neutral. And what I want to explain, yes, get rid of that word. Thank you. Periods.
Bye.
Oxidation is definitely
it's dead.
I mean, it's
canceled.
It does happen. Therefore, we are canceling.
But not in Makeup Forever.
No, we don't do that here. Waterproof as well, so it does have a little bit of a dry down factor. So again, go a little lighter than you think. Even if you were using, let's say, a Y245 and the new number is 2N22, go a little lighter, because you're gonna benefit more because of the higher pigment load.
And when Eddie kind of mentions the dry down, think about your cat getting used to you, your brand new dog getting used to you. That's what the makeup is doing. It's getting used to your skin. Yeah. It's going on, but then it's like, hey, this skin is this, and so I'm gonna relax now. So when he says dry down, it's not gonna change color. It's just gonna dry down.
Yeah,
you're gonna get used to you.
Yeah, it has to get used to your skin, and it really does kind of melt into the skin. It becomes one with your skin. And there's something that we call the micro skin system that is in the formula. It's just a fancy term for the fact that this foundation actually bends and moves with your skin, okay? So there's no cracking, there's no caking. It looks completely undetectable on skin, which again is really, really beautiful. And you'll get to see this live, because I've actually done this before on camera, and you really get to see the difference that this foundation makes. It's also much more blurring. So we've increased the blurring factor in this foundation versus Ultra HD, where Ultra HD was an amazing formula and it did blur, but this is like next level blur. This is like filter in a bottle blur, like literally.
I will tell you guys this. The people who are gonna kind of look at this foundation and go, these are the people who really love filters. this foundation looks like skin. And we have to get back to looking at ourselves and going, you know what, I like my skin. Whatever my skin is, I like it because really no one walks around in a filter. We don't walk around in Photoshop. We just don't. We walk around in real life.
Yeah.
So,
and and the beauty of skin is it does have some texture. And the beauty of the skin is that, there is hyperpigmentation. And if you want to cover it, great, you can. If you don't want to cover it, you don't have to. This definitely is like a filter in a bottle, and you really see a difference, and it doesn't feel heavy at all.
So I have it on as foundation and concealer. Yeah, literally.
That's that glow you got, right? So other quick tips that I want to share with everyone is what you can and cannot mix it with, okay?
Oh, fantastic.
Because I think it's important for those of us, the makeup junkies out there of the world.
We like to mix.
The makeup artists out there in the world. We like to mix. So this is not a water-based product. So do not mix it with anything that's water-based, okay? A face oil works beautiful. Our Step 1 Hydra Booster Primer works beautifully with it. Airbrush thinner works amazing with it. So those things are either like emollient based or they're silicone based. Those will mix into it. A water base, all you're gonna do is make cottage cheese. So don't do it.
Yeah, so for you airbrush junkies, we got you.
Yes.
We got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You can brush it on, you can spray it on.
Yeah.
We got you.
The thing, if you're gonna do it with an airbrush, and we were again talking about it this morning, is it's a higher concentration of airbrush thinner to foundation. So I would say 3 to 4 drops for every pump of foundation so that it is able to go through the gun, okay? So I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? Because I feel like I shared so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The undertones. So we did talk about yellow, red, and neutral. Okay, so what I want you to understand is the fact that the yellow now is a much more vibrant yellow, okay? It's not like a dull down kind of like banana yellow, okay? So you're going to see that there's vibrancy to this yellow. The neutrals, there's gonna be some neutral yellows, there's gonna be some neutral reds, and what it is, it's a little bit more of a toned down shade. So I don't want to say that in the neutral family that it's specific to a color, okay? It's not like they all have the same level of color. You're gonna find different levels of neutrals in there. And then the red is more of a real skin red. So we kind of got rid of that blue red, that pinky red. It's not a real skin tone, okay? So those are a lot of the improvements from the undertones. And I know everyone's freaking out because we changed the number system.
It's so much easier, guys. It really is so much easier.
It's not. All we did was take the letter and put it in the number as opposed to in front of the number. That's the biggest kind of visual mind playing. I want to say something else, but I want to keep it clean on camera.
Yeah, PC.
And we also simplified it. So as opposed to saying 200, 300, 400, 500, we went with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Absolutely.
Light, medium, tan, deep. Yeah. No difference. Same 4 color families, an additional undertone, and then the last 2 numbers are either how light or how dark. So it goes from 00 to 78. And we've also left some spacing in the numbers. So if we do see opportunities to bring in more shades, or we have a need for a shade, because we're gonna rely on all of you out there to tell us, what are we missing? What do we need, right? Yeah. Nothing is ever perfect, and nothing should ever be perfect enough. We should always be striving for more, which is what we did with this foundation.
And I do want to mention it, for you guys who are out there who are bloggers or YouTubers who are always on film, you might be a different shade on camera than you are in real life. So just FYI to the neutrals.
Yes. And if you're like you were an ultra HD junkie, like you love that foundation for either yourself or for your kit, you're probably gonna be more into the neutral undertones, because that is going to be closer to some of the shades that were in the Ultra HD family, the Ultra HD range. Again, the yellows are much more vibrant. It's not that they're great for every day. You have to be that color, that yellow shade, because it is a much richer, more vibrant yellow. There's warmth to it.
Yeah.
And then the reds are a true warm red, like a skin tone red, which I think is super beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so the moment you've been waiting for, without further ado, Eddie has someone to introduce to you. This is super special. Well, it's super special to have Eddie here in person. I can't tell you how grateful Camera Ready Cosmetics is for this. This is I'm tingling, okay? Tingling. So, but he has someone with him that is just incredible, and he's gonna bring that person on now.
Yes. So I saw this video. So the team here at Camera Ready sent over this video, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so in love with this person. So I'm gonna bring on. Her name is Carson, and I believe it's at Carson Love. Am I right? Right. So we're gonna bring her on. We're gonna do some makeup on Carson. So we're gonna pull that chair in, and we're going to totally do some makeup for you.
So stay home, guys.
Don't go anywhere.
We're gonna get set up real fast, okay? But when you see Carson, oh my god, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Right? Let's do this makeup. All right, let's have a seat right here.
For all my loves that are on, hi guys.
We're gonna bring the camera real close so you guys can see. Got it?
Yep. Okay, awesome. So guys, this is our first demo live, especially with someone of Eddie's caliber.
Can you please look at her for God's sake?
These two.
Okay, so we've identified Carson is more of a warmer skin tone, okay? So we're gonna put her into R24, all right? It's the medium skin tone, okay? And it's probably in the medium range. So within the 10 shades, it's probably right in the middle of the 10 shades in the 2 family, all right? And also, don't get so hooked on red, thinking of the old red shade, because I went from being a yellow, I was a Y315, to now I'm a 2R38. So don't get too caught up with Y and R. The best thing you can do is just rematch yourself completely. You can use, again, the shade conversions as your starting point, but don't think that it's for go in, try new shades, okay? So we're gonna use 2R24. I'm going to put some on the palette so you guys can see the shade. Okay. I put 3 pumps. I'm going to do 4. Why not? And then we actually launched a new brush. So I could get into this brush, people. Okay. Wait, let's do this. You can see it better this way. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Carson. And you can see it's got a little fluffy belly. What I love about this brush, I love a fluffy belly.
Yes.
Right? What's great about this brush is if you want a medium coverage, you're gonna get a medium coverage much faster because of the design of the brush. So your tools are always going to dictate your coverage. If you want a light coverage, you're always gonna use your fingers, or you're gonna use the softer side of a damp sponge, okay? If you use a brush, you're gonna get a medium coverage. And if you use the sponge on its own, you tap it in, you're going to build up to a full coverage. And that's the beauty of HD skin, because HD skin to me is actually a true medium coverage that you can totally go full coverage with. And we're gonna see that, right? I think you've experienced that as well. So we're gonna go in and get ready for the gag, people.
Seriously.
Let's get ready for the gag. Let's bring it in. I want you to see this, okay? I want you to see how we're able.
And guys, also, we're going to do a model reaction at the end of this, so you'll get a real opinion of what this foundation feels like, how it feels on the skin.
Can we see, it literally completely blurs out everything.
Everything.
In one swipe. It's amazing.
And it really does look like skin on camera and in real life.
I love that. I love that. So let's turn this way now. Let's the other side. Let's get this side. So I always like to start in the middle first. And then just kind of brush it right across. I mean, it literally, and how does it feel, Carson?
Like skin.
It doesn't feel heavy, does it?
Not at all. Not oily, not.
And that's really what and I always say, you want it to feel like it's your skin. Mm-hmm. You also want people to say, "Oh my God, your skin looks amazing." I think it's shady or questionable when people are like, "Oh, your foundation looks good,"
or your makeup looks pretty. You're like, "What about me as a person?"
Yeah, you're like, "Okay, girl, I know what you're saying to me right now."
But like I said, guys, we have to sort of live outside of social media at this point. None of us live under a filter. None of us live in Photoshop. We live in real life. We go to an office. We go to our jobs. And we don't walk around with lights on us, studio lights on us, or a TikTok filter over our face. So love your skin again, please. Like, start loving your skin, because this foundation looks like skin, feels like skin, and yes.
Yeah, and honestly too, even for my influencers out there, I mean, Carson, you're one of them as well. Like, it is like having a filter in a bottle.
It really is.
And you don't need a lot. Like, you really just go in, and a little bit goes a long way. So now I'm going to go in, and I know all of you out there that know me know this brush, this is like my Desert Island Forever brush, my brush 144, and I know all my Makeup Forever people make fun of me because I have like 14 of these in my kit.
It's a multi.
Yes.
I'll be picking that up.
And so for someone that has Carson barely has any darkness under the eye, the beauty of the HD skin is I can use it as a concealer as well. So if you don't have that much darkness, it does provide enough coverage that it will literally wipe out and blur out any imperfections in any areas like under the eye or around the chin, or you have a little blemish and you don't want to put too much concealer on it, because the more you put on, the more you risk texture. So let's come in. Ready?
Yes.
Let's look up.
Carson, can I ask you what your skin type is? Like, are you oily, combination?
I would say I am oily in my T-zone and almost like desert dry at times, and get dry patches. So my skin loves to play me. But I love her. I'm taking care of her. You know.
I think one of the sort of the misconceptions of, because Makeup Forever suggests this foundation for a combination to oily skin type, is that dry people can't wear it. Well, I'm dry. I'm completely
Me
dry.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both dry,
Yeah.
and we're actually both wearing it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I like to wear mine. I think Calvin, you like to wear it the same way, as we like a little glow.
Absolutely.
We like a little dew on the skin, so we mix it with face oil.
So guys, really, if you are a normal to dry skin type, guess who's your best friend? Skin prep. You're gonna prep your skin to actually wear this foundation, to have it long wear. It is a waterproof foundation, so it's not gonna come off, but you do wanna prep your skin for that skin type. And if you are dry, guess what? You need some hydration under this.
Okay, I just want you to take a look from one eye to the other, how that little bit of foundation, like, it's almost like wearing concealer.
It is.
And so you don't need a lot.
The first time I put this on, I left the house without concealer on because I forgot to put it on because I didn't realize that I didn't use it.
Right, because it really has that beautiful coverage. Turn this way for me and look up. That you almost don't need to add more layers of product. Obviously, if you do have more darkness, you're always going to layer your concealer on top of the foundation, or if you want to highlight, all those things on top of the foundation. But I'm also going to show you guys a little trick in a minute too.
I was about to say, I know.
Look down for me. Now, if we want to build coverage, you can use a sponge. I'm going to use a sponge a little bit to show you. I am going to actually use the Camera Ready sponge because I've never tried it and I'm tempted. And I know that Camera Ready will be launching our sponge very soon. So stay tuned for that, because that sponge is thebomb.com. But it's not here yet. But it will be, I promise. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Camera Ready sponge, which is great because what I love about it is it's almost like it's poreless. And it's got a really cool shape, so I can either use it like a powder puff, or I can bend it and use it like a stippling sponge. So I'm gonna go in to the foundation, and wherever I might need a little coverage, turn this way for me. We have like a few little friends here that
I want to say hello.
they want to be in the contract, and they're not part of the contract,
Yes.
right? And what I'm able to do is to really build what is a natural full coverage. And I think too, when we talk about full coverage, if you can get like 86% of coverage, it's a really good way of getting what is, I think, skin-like coverage. Anything more than that, like, you're gonna start to have a lot of product on your face. I'm not mad at your sponge, Camera Ready. Turn a little bit for me this way.
Yeah, that's our new Pro Blender, and it does everything. It does foundation, concealer, powder. You can really use that one sponge around your whole face.
When did you launch it?
3 months ago?
2 months ago.
About 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful little sponge. I have
And it's
to tell you.
$4.50.
Look at you.
Wow.
Yeah, for only $4.50, guys.
Is it wet or dry?
I've actually dampened the sponge with a little bit of Mist and Fix because that's my other little go-to. And then back with my friend over here, my little 144, because we want to get
So guys, to Eddie's point, you don't have to wear full coverage over your entire face. You're gonna find the areas of discoloration, blemishes, blah blah blah. You're gonna make those areas full coverage. Leave the rest of your face alone.
Oh, can we talk about
that.
this skin, y'all? I mean, look at that skin. I'm
Thanks to you.
thanks to HD Skin. It's the magic in a bottle.
I'm learning with you guys as well today, so.
So I have another little trick. So what I'm gonna do is, this is Carson's foundation shade, right? We use 2R24. So there's a shade that's called 4R76 in the range, okay? It's the darkest red. There is one shade that's even darker than this, but it's more of a neutral. So I'm gonna take a little bit, I'm gonna put it into the foundation. I'm gonna mix it. And what I'm able to create is Carson's natural contour.
Wow.
You can kind of see, I'm gonna put it right in here. It's her skin tone with some depth, okay? And this is going to look like the dimension is coming from her skin and not sitting on top of her skin, which I think is important when we're trying to add dimension to the face so it looks more natural. So then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna give Carson a little bit of dimension.
That is genius.
And all it takes is, and then what's great about it too is if you tan, you can always mix it into the foundation to get a little bit more warmth in it. But you'll see. Turn this way for me.
This is why Eddie is the international artist trainer extraordinaire. Because he thinks of these things.
I wouldn't have been able to do it though without all the amazing people that have crossed my path. And, you know, I've had some really incredible mentors along the way. And I think that's kind of what I want to be to everybody out there is I don't want to hold on to the knowledge. I want to share like it was shared with me.
Yes.
So these little tips and tricks are coming from a lot of amazing artists that I've really had the pleasure to work with. And thanks to them, I'm able now to also share this with all of you. But look at that.
Wow.
Can we talk about this?
That's amazing.
I mean, it's
It's so natural.
It's so natural on the skin. And I can go in and adjust where I need to. So we're bringing back what I call undetectable dimension. So different.
Wow.
Let's do a little bit up here for color consistency. And you can also do the same thing if you take the lightest shade, which is 1N00, and you can create a highlighter as well. But I'm kind of, right now in makeup, I'm kind of steering away from doing so much highlighter. I'd rather do more of a sheen or a texture through a powder or a cream that has like a little bit more like a duochrome effect as opposed to going bright and creating volumes. I'm really loving just working with the sculpt more. Like I'm actually creating a sculpture is what I'm kind of doing. So I like to work in this way. Let's do this side. And I'm using the 150 brush, but any angled contour brush is gonna work. So I wanna lay it down and then blend upwards.
Your touch is so light. I think I'm pressing a little hard on my foundation brush.
Girl, it's the only skin you have. Take care of it. Zhuzh it. Love it. And what's great about working with like a foundation to create the contour is the fact that you're not gonna run into any kind of like additional texture. So the foundation, so it's synergistic. It's gonna work really well with what you already have on the skin, and you don't have to like, you know, put like a cream product on top or a powder product. And I kind of stay away from like powder products in general when I'm creating complexion because I want it to melt into the skin and I don't want that texture. Now, if you are someone that needs a little bit of powder, my oily friends out there, or you have like what I call like the bad shine, like sometimes through the center of the face, we don't want to look too glowy. We have a powder for that, which I think we actually did a live on it, didn't we?
Danielle is asking what shade you use to contour.
2R76.
Now, Daniela, mind you, he mixed that shade to her
Oh,
original
sorry,
shade.
4R76. Sorry, I made a mistake.
But he mixed that shade with his original color on her to make that contour. And so you want to kind of tread lightly, put a little bit in first, mix it, a little bit in, mix it.
Yes, you always want to start light. So don't go around saying that Eddie said put this dark shade all up in my foundation and turn it into like Bronzerella Queen. That's not, we want to do little at a time. And if you just put a little pump in there, mix it, and you want it to be almost like 2 to 3 shades naturally darker than your skin tone. You don't want it to be 7 to 10 shades darker than your skin tone, okay? Unless you're painting for the stage. That's a different story. But this contour is really meant to look like skin, all right? And we want it to be just 2 to 3 shades darker than the skin. I'm gonna go into a little bit of the Ultra HD Matte Setting Powder. And this is 2.0. It's a little bit more on the golden side. And I'm only gonna do powder where I need it. I always go with a smaller brush. I don't necessarily use powder brushes. Again, I'm just a control freak. I like to control how much of everything goes on any face. So I'm gonna go into my powder. And I'm going to press it in, okay, to get it into the bristles. Like this. And then look up for me. I always kind of want to put a little bit of powder around the eye area. Around the nose. Maybe on the chin. Sometimes on the forehead. What's beautiful about the Ultra HD Matte Setting Powder is that it does have a little bit more of a blur. So if you need a little bit of blur, you can definitely add a little bit more. But you don't necessarily need powder. I mean, look at her skin, please. Get in there. I mean, you can really look at how beautiful that skin is. And we didn't use a lot of products, okay? I was able to use it as a concealer. I was able to use it as a contour. I was able to use it as a foundation. I can build it to a full coverage where I need it. I mean, how much more can we give you? Mm-hmm. Like, I think all of you are gonna enjoy this foundation so much. And I know here at Camera Ready, we've identified like 12 shades that are like the pro kit shades that I'm sure we can, I don't remember them off the top of my head. But I know they're gonna post it for you, but those 12 shades can get you through so much. And that little contour color is in there, in those 12 must-have shades. So what do you guys think? What do you think?
I love it.
We're gonna reset up real fast, guys, and give us 1 second. Should pop.
We have lighting.
Technology.
We have a whole crew happening right now.
There we go. Boom shakalaka. All right. So, there
You
you
can
go.
stay right there,
babe. All right, so what I want to do kind of like with this part is really get the model's reaction about what she thinks, and maybe she can kind of squeeze in here. But for you guys who are working on set, are working in film and TV,
there we go.
this is what you're going to get as a result with the makeup. So I want you guys to be able to see that. So Carson, if you want to
jump in, tell us.
Let's see.
Talk to the folks.
The biggest takeaway I'm taking from this and going to be using on my personal routine is one foundation shade, which, you know, everyone's going to be different, and the contour shade, so that I will be able to adjust when my skin tone is changing and doing a contour. I'm obsessed with that technique, and it's only 2 products.
It's only 2 things, and I think it really makes it simple.
Mm-hmm.
You can always add more warmth to it, and I think it really just creates really beautiful dimension.
It really did.
And Carson, do you feel like this foundation has changed the color of your skin? Do you feel like this is your skin color?
I feel like this is my best skin color that's ever matched me. I always have a hard time with that, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always hard too, because, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is we're not just one tone.
Right.
We have undertones, we have surface tones. You know, so much can affect our skin. Weather changes our skin. Diet changes the color of our skin. Our skin is never just one stationary color. Like, there's constant evolution in our skin tone. So, you know, sometimes you do need 2 shades to mix together to create your own, you know, specific customized shade. It's a reality. It's a truth. But the fact that we can get 1 shade from 1 bottle is amazing, I think.
Well, I feel like we have all these products coming at us sometimes, and especially a product junkie like me, I'm always looking for those standout products. And so I have my standout foundation, which is the HD Skin, but I can't even explain that one thing of adding that contour shade in that just makes me feel
So
done.
awesome.
Yeah, it gives you power.
Yeah.
Gives you power.
Yeah. I mean, you control it.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for joining this live. This was probably like the most special live we've ever done here at Camera Ready Cosmetics. We want to invite you to try the formula. Even if you have fears of going from the old formula to the new formula, try this. Give this a chance because the changes that they made were thought out. They were really thought out, and they were really concerned with making the best formulation they can bring to you at this time. So we want to thank you again for joining Camera Ready Cosmetics, and we will see you on the next live.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Love y'all.
Bye.